Kentucky's 2022 overdose fatality report revealed that Bath County saw the highest rate of overdose deaths per capita last year. And Bath County EMS Director Gary Bielert says he's surprised they haven't ranked this high before.
You know, it's a small community, and I think everybody that works here, or everybody that I know, really has been, somebody in their family has been addicted or, you know, at one point.
Bath County Coroner Andrew Owens says when it comes to overdose deaths, one drug is leading above the rest.
Almost every death certificate that I sign that's an overdose is fentanyl related. It seems to be very easy for these people to get fentanyl because it's mixed in a lot of things.
While some community members are optimistic things may look up for the area, others are expressing how unlikely it will be to overcome this issue.
I think it's going to be a continuing trend. The drugs are, I mean, basically people are making them from YouTube videos now, and they can buy supplies and just make them. I just don't see it going anywhere.
I just don't think that there's enough programs out here for these drug users, you know, to be able to, you know, try to get themselves clean, and a lot of them, it's just hard to admit that they've got a problem.
Owens adds that it's going to be a community effort to curb this issue.
You know, the families of these people that's overdosing, they're, you know, they're being unheard right now, but hopefully not for long.
In Bath County, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.